Hello, dear friends of pianoconcerto.it. Today we'll present another review of a mic. We speak about the Blue Spark mic. Let's go to open this package together. And like the other microphones that usually come with an aluminium case, this microphone is instead provided with an olden wooden houses. Let's take a look together. So we now shall open the case and see what lies inside. The first thing is the instruction booklet. And sorry, but I'm doing everything with just one hand. So let's look inside of it. There are the usual information on the microphone. We, like other mics review, we are going to see the graphs of frequency response. So we see in the very first pages it shows the auto-assemble the shock mount and the housing of the phone on it. And in this second part instead we see how to place the pop filter on the capsule. Remember that the capsule is the pop filter is the custom blue pop filter. So we now see the frequency response diagram, and we realize that the microphone that I remember Blue Spark is an entry-level in professional field, has however a good, very good linear curve. The gain, which is more that we notice of the AKG 420, since the AKG had a maximum gain of 4 dB, this microphone is has a bigger gain at low frequencies of about 10 dB. So we now see two graphs, one in red and one in orange. The red one is the graph for the so-called focus control of blue, which permit you to focus the sound source. In the fact, this focus control is nothing more than a low cut filter that cuts the low frequencies, damping them of about 20 dB from 70 Hz up to 120 Hz. So the curve is fairly straightforward and up to the 10 kHz. After 10 kHz, we see that it begins to go down, the response to high frequencies. I forgot to tell you also that these graphs are semi-logarithmic, because on the ordinate axis we have linear values, as you can see. In fact, the numerical range between a number and its future in the scale is always constant, instead of the x-axis, where you can see that we start from 70 Hz, and then we get up to 100, 200, 300, 500, then we get up to 1 kHz, 2 kHz, 5 kHz, 10 kHz, 15 kHz. So this no linearity is represented with the use of a logarithmic scale on the horizontal axis. We see that the diagram is cardioid, as you can see, and clearly on this polar pattern plot we have capturing angles depending on frequency. So you remember in the other graph we had frequency and response of the frequency. In this we have frequency and angles. In other pages of this manual you will see some recording techniques, how to record a voice, an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, drums, saxophones, piano. And for piano you obviously need two mic to have a stereo image. In particular this is the AB technique. And we also see another technique, stereo image technique, that it's to place a microphone upside down relative to each other, and the tube capsule has to be 90 degrees angled. For technical specification we see that the microphone is a condenser, and we have a cardioid polar partner, and this is the only pattern we have, instead of a AKG in which we had cardioid omnidirectional and figure 8. In this case we have only the cardioid. Frequency range is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The output impedance is 50 ohms, and the maximum SPL is 128 decibels. As a condenser mic, it requires a phantom power of 48 volts in DC. It weighs about 1.25 pounds. Dimensions are 7.75 inches in length and 1.77 in diameter. The accessories are anti-pop and shock mount and wooden case. We can therefore reach the compartment of the microphone by removing this protection. So we are going to see what's inside. As I told you, you always have to protect the microphone capsule with this desiccant sac. So it comes with a shock mount, the pop filter, and of course the microphone. Let's go to analyze the shock mount for first. So as you can see, it's different from the other shock mount of other microphones, but it still plays very well its job. He consists of another circumference and which carried the inner circle by rubber bands. It's very well amortized and made of steel. So moving forward, we are going to see the pop filter with a blue logo in the front of it, and it's made of a how to describe it, a ferrous material. As you can imagine, this pop filter must be then placed on the capsule of the mic and screw by this screw on the back of the mic. Finally, we can unpack the microphone. This microphone is very good, like most of the microphones of the Blue. We have a capsule that is separated from the rest of the body of the microphone, and the body is in orange and red, and we have the blue logo. So the body is enclosed by two hemispheres, one on the top and one on the bottom. The connection is obviously XLR, and on the back we can see that we must remove this screw to attach the pop filter. Okay, on the bottom always in the back, we had the famous focus control, as I told you before, which is a low cut filter. By pressing it, you engage the. So we just have to connect the microphone to see how it works. So let's put in on our stereo system. Well, we finally mounted the microphone in his housing, and we immediately realized that voice comes out very clean and detailed. I think that this mic for its cost is outstanding. I remember that this microphone has a price of about $199, and you can find it with two boxes more or less. So it's a purchase that I recommend to everyone, even if it's an entry-level microphone. Professionals will see later, however, than other microphones and other tests that I really want to make you feel as always shooting an acoustic instrument. So in this case, the acoustic guitar, only a few notes, and listen to evaluate the details and other stuffs. So let's now see how it behaves. Here we go. It sounds really beautiful, like this AKG microphone perhaps has an enhancement of high frequencies. This for the blue helps a lot of recording instruments like this acoustic guitar. If you have noticed in previous reviews of the AKG sounds more confusing on low frequencies. This microphone instead, we hear that sounds really good, and is almost precisely as it plays the real guitar sound. In fact, I hear the same sound I hear in my headphone outside of them. So the AKG has, however, more things better than this mic. In fact, the AKG is recommended for recording piano and voice. This mic is instead recommended for acoustic guitar and voice. But always remember that you need two of this mic to record piano, because you need a stereo image. So we'll speak about miking and miking techniques, so how to record piano and other stuffs, and we'll make tutorials for this reason. And to understand, we will need at least 2 or more tutorials, because recording techniques are very difficult. So we shall see in detail how to make an electric guitar, then an acoustic guitar, then how to position the microphone directly to a cone, and making a recording of a clean guitar between the guitar amplifier, and see also how to place microphones on a percussion instruments such as the drum kit, which requires lots and lots of microphones. And I want to add a personal note, which I think that there are really few good microphones that make the drum sounds good. One of these microphone is the Audix, who sells a kit called DP7, and it's composed by seven microphones, one for the snare drum, 3 are for the toms, 1 for the kick, and we got finally 2 condenser mic for the overhead for recording cymbals. So for this review we have say everything, so I leave you with as usual a recording of with effects this time. This because I want you to have even a production of what you can do with this mic and how to improve its quality. So I remembered I recorded a small piece of Michael Jackson "We Are the World" as a small tribute. So I remember that you can even translate this this video, because it's subtitled, and you can translate the subtitle in the language you prefer by clicking the CC button in the bottom of the YouTube player. So the latest thing, as usual, I recommend and I invite you to visit our website at the address www.pianoconcerto.it. We have also a forum, and I invite you to register on the forum. Is a procedure that requires a few seconds, because there is no need to confirm by email your account. So I think it's a nice way to compare your ideas with other people, ask questions about videos and tutorials, reviews, or everything you want. So I await you on my site www.pianoconcerto.it, and I refer you to the next video tutorial or the next review. So thank you all for your attention, and have a good continuation.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can go on pretending day by day that someone, somewhere will soon make a change. We are all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our lives. It's true, we'll make a brighter day, just you and me.